Hey gang, welcome back to the Trading Coach Podcast. As always, my name is Akil Stokes, co-founder at tier1trading.com, professional currency trader and trading coach to hundreds of thousands of people across the world. It's still pretty cool to think about how many people we're reaching over the years and how many people from all over the world that we're talking to on a daily basis. It's weird, and it's so cool that one common thing can bring us all together despite location and language. And I just love what I do. Anyway, if you guys are new, this is the Trading Coach Podcast. It is released each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on your favorite music and podcasting app. I'm talking iTunes, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. It should be available whichever app or website you use. And if for some reason it's not, you can always view this on YouTube as well. I just ask one favor of you because we're continuously trying to grow the show bigger and badder each and every episode. If you like what you hear, do me a favor, take a second out of your day to hit that share button on your favorite social media platform or all of them. That would be extraordinary if you did that. And also take the time to give me a review if you're new. Leave however many stars or thumbs up that you can. And if you're so kind, leave a few words letting me know what you like about the podcast and how it has impacted you. In today's episode, I'm going to share a conversation that we recently had in my live trading room. We're dealing with slow markets right now. We're getting into the dog days of summer. So it's opened the door for a lot of different conversations since we've been spending less time, looking for trading opportunities. And the conversation we had recently was about the value of money. And this is a subject that is very special to me. I value money a lot, and I value being educated on how to use money the right way. And that's just not something that is taught or passed down as it should be, in my opinion. And well, I'll let you hear the rest of my thoughts in today's podcast.
Well, the problem is we don't have a good understanding of budgeting. We're in kind of and this is kind of how the world's going. We're in a debt can be good and bad. We're instead of being in a use or create debt to kind of like form a business or create debt, or use your debt to fund a business where you're going to make a higher return. We're kind of in hey, credit cards are offering us this limit. I'm just going to use it without any rhyme or reason on how to pay it back. That's more of a mentality problem. That's more of a being undereducated, where people say, hey, you have a $30,000 limit on your credit card, and thinking that means I can just spend $30,000 at will. So that's people being educated on money and what credit actually is and what debt actually is, because we're all using credit now. Very little people are using cash. And a lot of people have the wrong idea of what credit actually means. Like, they think credit is just free money. I had a buddy of mine the other day was like, hey, yeah, I got a $5,000 increase on my credit card. I'm going to go out and buy this. I'm like, just because they give you an increase doesn't mean you have to buy it, right? Like, you have to pay it back. And now he's getting a $600 a month interest charge on what he owes, and now he's mad about needing to pay the extra $600. He's like, how am I ever gonna make my money back if I have to pay? I can't. The amount that they're charging him on interest is more than what he's able to pay off on the credit card. Right? He's able to pay off, say, like $400 a month, but his interest charge is $600 a month. So no matter what happens, he's going into the negative. So I think that's more of a mindset, more of the fact that we just don't know the average. It'd be interesting to take, well, I'm sure there are polls out there. The average person just doesn't understand money and how to use it, because we're not taught that. And again, the government wants to keep us dumb so they can control us, right? How do you control billions and billions of people? Keep them undereducated. No, look, there's nothing, capitalism, right? There's nothing wrong with making money off people's extreme consumption. Because guess what? they're going if people want to do something, they're going to do it. If they don't get it from you, they're going to get it from someone else. So you might as well be the one to give it to them, right? If you're selling a Subway sandwich, right? And you're like, "Sir, I'm not going to sell you this sandwich because you're in a bad financial state and I don't want to be a part of it." They're just going to go to the shop across the street and buy it. So you might as well take it. Sounds horrible, but I mean, but we have to live too, right? But it's an undereducated thing where we just don't understand. They don't teach budgeting in school. They don't teach investing. They don't teach debt. I'm talking about like elementary school, middle school. They don't teach the common things that we should know, right? One of the things I always said, right? I bought a bunch of gold and silver a couple years ago, and part of it was conspiracy theory. I was watching too much Walking Dead, and like if the world collapsed and the zombie apocalypse happened, I'd be able to trade and have currency, right? So I loaded up on gold, silver, and cigarettes and bullets, stuff like that. Stuff that you can use in the the after cash world, right? Small bit of that, but mainly I wanted to use it to teach my son money, the value of money, the value of investing, because that's how my dad taught me. My dad at a very young age, or my mom, I guess, and dad, for one of my birthdays when I was young, they bought me a savings bond, right? They bought me a bond, and they explained to me. They said, "Hey, Akil, we're going to give you this now." They said, "Right now, this little bond is worth, I think it was like $50." I'm like, "Oh yeah, $50 and buy me a video game." Back when video games were $50, right? But then he showed me this sheet, and he was like, "All right, so here's the date. If you wait until it appreciates, right? If you wait until this date, it'll be worth this much." And that was one of my first lessons on investing, right? Because I saw that, okay, well, this piece of paper that was $50 now, a year from now would be worth 51. 5 years from now would be worth 60. 10 years from now would be worth 100, whatever. And I have gold. I want to teach my kid the same thing. I want to give him a piece of gold or silver at one of his birthdays and be like, "Look, you see this right now? This is worth blah, 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 blah. You can cash it in, you can spend it, you can do whatever you want with it. But if you hold it," and this is a way to sneak him in and teach him a little bit about economics, "if you hold it, it could be worth this, or it could be worth less." And just kind of have him thinking about it, right? It's the same thing. I had dinner with or lunch with my business partner the other day, my real estate business partner. And one of the things we were talking about was a cashless world. And one of the reasons that people don't understand money is because we don't actually see money anymore, right? As we go to more kind of credit card and PayPal, right? We don't actually see money. Everything's direct, right? Like I pay for stuff with PayPal. It just comes out. I forget it comes out until I look at my PayPal and be like, why is that happening? And I know for me, one of the big educators on money for myself was like the touch, the feel, the smell, right? Me and my cousin, we used to build houses when we were little with his grandfather. And we used to labor all day. We'd be all sweaty and nasty. But at the end of the day, right, we'd sit there and he would sit there and with a roll of like fives and ones and, unroll them out. Boom, boom, here, 5, 10, 15, 20. We watch him count it. You hear the sound of the money kind of smack in your hand. He puts it in your hand. You feel it. You smell it, right? And you appreciate it that way. Maybe I'm crazy, but this was a big part of me. And all of those senses being kind of activated, right? Touch, smell, feel, maybe taste, maybe a little bit of taste. All of those senses being activated at once, it made you appreciate the moment. Like all of the hard work you did for 6 hours of building this house, right? This was your payoff, and it was important. And because that money in your hand was so important, like you labored for it, you weren't really quick to give it away. So like when we made a decision to buy like a bike or a video game, or maybe we would like put it together and buy a video game system, we would sit down and we really thought about it. We're like, okay, look, Jordan, you got $60, I got 70, right? What can we do with this? Like we can buy this video game, we can buy that video game, or we can buy this stack of baseball cards, or we could put it together, right? And then if we save it and then work again next week and put that together, then we can buy a video game system. And a lot of thought went into it, and we really valued money that way. We really made smart choices. And as I got older, that turned into more of a business where you would have money, and I would ask myself, how can I multiply that money? And I would have that money. I'd have that 60, $70. And I'd be like, okay, that's not enough to buy what I want. But I used to sell mixtapes, right, in high school, right? If I buy this, if I take 40 of those $60 and I spend it on this, right? I spend $40 on cassettes or CDs, right? And then I record my mixtape, whatever I put on the CD, and then I sell those CDs for $5 a piece, right? I'm going to make 5 times the $40 that I spent to buy the initial CDs with. And you start figuring out ways to make your money grow. And we don't do that anymore, man. And maybe that's me just having an entrepreneur mindset from being little. But we don't do that. I was never taught that. I mean, it's not my parents taught me that, but like school never taught me that. And I think the more we get away from that, we're losing that skill. We're losing it. Where money's becoming worthless. So I don't know. Maybe that's all nothing. But yeah. And I'll tell you what, I think parents don't teach it, Chris, because like we said before, parents don't know any better than the kids right now. We're so much in debt right now that, parents don't know the skill of saving. Because the parents now, I'm a parent now, we're the same kids that weren't taught when we were little. So if I wasn't taught, how am I going to teach my kid? But at the same time, it opens up a career for people that are like investment coaches and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think we just have to be as influencers. We just we have to force the point. Like I can't wait till my kid's old enough to get allowance. Not only because I won't have to take out the trash anymore and do chores around the house, but I want to teach him about money. I want to see the decisions he makes. I want to see the first time I give him allowance and he spends it right away and then gets mad that he doesn't have money to buy something else. And I can tell him, well, if you just would have saved last week's money and added it to this week's money, you would have been able to buy that. In fact, I'll probably even give him the choice. I'll probably tell him like this. I'll probably say this. Here's your allowance. For every, I'll end up being the bank. For every whatever money you don't spend, every month I'll give you $1 per something. I don't know the percentage, but I will be the bank and make him make those decisions. I just want him to think about it before he recklessly spends it. I want him to think, okay, I can spend it now and get instant gratification, or if I save it, my money will make money. Because that's all investing is making your money work for me. If I simply don't spend it, my money makes money because my dad will give me more money. I just want the thought. As long as the thought's there, that's all that matters.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As always, if you can be so kind, please give this a share on social media, give it a thumbs up, give it a review. And of course, if you have topics that you would like me to discuss in future podcasts, just shoot me a message. I'm all over social media. You can shoot it in the comments section under YouTube. You can shoot me a message or at me on the Twitter, right? You can find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, anywhere you can find me, shoot me a message. And if you have something, a question, I will either respond to it directly, as I typically do, or I'll add it to the list of future potential podcast topics. All right. So until next time, plan your trade, trade your plan. Good luck in the markets, traders.